to raise these children. Now, because that was kind of in the hands of the state to do something about it, nothing was done. Or in Memphis, again, a good example is the amount of money that Memphis has asked of the federal government for so many anti-poverty programs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Again, you have something that the city, the state could have acted upon, but didn't do it. And when you have uncaring people, with authority over how much money comes in,
Mom, me and Kat are going on a loud journey tonight.
you're just not going to get anything.
Come on, Kat, let's go. Come on, Kat.
Well, we're back again to education.
Yes, but education in a new sense.
Yeah, but we're back again to education of the local people finally.
Yes.
Assume that the federal government continues toward the right.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be no better off if the federal government is controlling the entire nationwide program of the states.
Yes. I think, though, again, when you talk about education, just looking at what has been accomplished in Memphis, how has it been accomplished? Through what kinds of education? It's been, through a boycott and through other various power moves that you've gotten anything. And this is a form of education. And how have people's attitudes been changed, not so much through interracial dialogue, but through a real kind of sense, just to speak on another level, again, using sensitivity, where people really come down in an intense communication situation and really come to see one another on a level that you just wouldn't get in a casual, superficial kind of thing. So I think education carries with it the tone of feeding some facts, coming to a few lectures and stuff like this. But that's simply not the kind of education that is going to bring about any change. The most dynamic speaker would not, give the kind of education that people need, in Memphis or anyplace else. Actually, I think the basic question we're asking is, how do you get a racist to change his attitudes and to see differently? I think that's really the basic question. And to me, the deeper the racism, the more radical the form of education that has to, take place.
Is that, who else? Who are some of the speakers?
I'm going to have trouble here because...
Because you skipped all the speakers.
No, because the speakers who were the named speakers didn't show up. None of them.
Why not?
Cesar Chavez was sick. Julian Bond was wrapped up in the state legislature. Jesse Jackson was not permitted to leave Chicago. The courts kept him in Chicago because of his work in his construction business. He was, and what the proper court term is, court injunction, subpoena, or he couldn't come. And Lucius Walker of the Black Manifesto was really only. There were four big names, and
I don't know Lucius Walker.
he's the one who's head of IFCO. Had so much to do with the Black Manifesto.
Is he Reverend Lucius Walker?
Yes, as a matter of fact.
Hey.
And then the people that took their place, one was a Reverend Hargett, who was very good, but I'm not that much acquainted with him. The other was George Riddick, I think it is, who is
No, I didn't.
Jesse Jackson's,
Can't you have it?
I don't want to say economic theorist, but he's a big man in economics behind Breadbasket and other things that Jesse Jackson did. The man who took Caesar's place isn't really a known name, but just one of his workers, who came and explained the great book.
It's been sick a long time, hasn't it?
Yeah. They don't know exactly what it is either.
Did you
Some
say you went down and saw Caesar?
I saw him. I spent a couple of days in Delaney, really day and a half in Delaney.
Was that the first time you mentioned that?
Yeah. In fact, when I talked with him, he's actually doing much better now. He's walking around, but the thing is that when he gets better, he tends to overwork, work 20 hours a day or something worse. So when I saw him, he was reclining, kind of taking a break, and we talked about the boycott in Memphis, the situation was. That was about it. I guess I spent about 15 minutes with him because he had meetings consistently.
Does he look charismatic? Were you charismatized?
Yes, really.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think Caesar would probably his charisma, if you want to use that word, is expressed much differently than King's. We're so used to seeing King on television. He's such a dynamic, preacher, really, and he's a very powerful person. Caesar is a much more quiet, soft person.
Low key.
Yeah, from that point of view, but people around him are just